This week on Today's Homeowner, we're checking out tools, but not just any tools. We want the right tool for the job at hand, and that means something different for everyone. So stick around. We might have the right tool for your next project. No matter what project you're taking on at your house, it can be a lot easier and you'll get those professional results if you use the right materials and the right tools. Now for many people, when they're looking for that specialized tool, that search starts right here. It's a tool rental center at the local Home Depot, and they have tools in here I'll bet you didn't even know existed. And you know, a lot of people are taking on ceramic tile projects around their house these days, or maybe putting a brick patio out in the backyard. Well, if you are, this is the tool you just have to rent. It's a wet saw, and it rents for around $55 to $60 a day. Now here's why it works so well. You have a specially designed blade that will cut right through that ceramic or brick pavers, and it'll get a little warm, so you have to have water here that is distributed onto the blade to keep it nice and cool, and that water recirculates from a reservoir that you have down below. Now when you're at the rental center, you'll want to tell the person there what type of project you're doing, because you may have one blade for ceramic, and if you're cutting these big thick bricks, you may need another type of blade, but it can just make the project so much more enjoyable, and like I say, it'll look like a professional did it. Now you may be taking on another type of flooring project around the house, and they've got a lot of tools that'll make those jobs a lot easier too. When people remodel their kitchens and baths, one of the most popular upgrades is replacing the old vinyl floors with new ceramic ones. But removing that vinyl and the glue that holds it is the most difficult part of the process if you do it by hand. This, however, is a motorized floor scraper, and it's designed specifically for this job. The vibrating knife-like blade peels up the flooring quickly and efficiently, saving sore muscles and blisters for do-it-yourselfers and the labor cost for the pros. Adding new flooring often requires you to trim door casings, and though it can be done with a handsaw, the quickest way is with a jam saw. You simply adjust it to the height the molding should be cut, and zip, it's done. Now if you're refinishing wood floors, you will no doubt need to get acquainted with one of these. Though a drum sander will give you a workout, it's far less tedious than sanding a floor by hand, but it won't get you up close to your walls and corners, so for that you'll need an edge sander. Now these two tools help speed up floor refinishing because they remove material so aggressively. So in other words, be careful or you could really make a mess.
One of my favorite tools of all time is the nail gun. So convenient, but before you rush out and buy one, you need to understand there are different types of guns for different purposes. What do you need it for? Well, this is of course a framing gun, good for 3.5-inch nails down to what I'm using is actually driving in some little 2-inch ring shank siding nails. But for most homeowners, I would say try out a finish nailer. They are great for any type of inside work, like hanging baseboards, inside shelving. You can also use them for the hobbyists for making picture frames. They're great. But before you buy a gun, keep this in mind. There's more of an investment than just the gun. For example, you've got to have a good quality air compressor and of course the hose that goes with it. Now, here's the question you have to ask yourself. Is it worth the investment to buy all of those tools? Well, here's the way I look at it. You could actually take one of these guns and for maybe, let's say an hour of your day, take care of the work you need, or you could swing one of these for about 8 hours. You decide.
Now, if painting is a job you want to speed up, then spraying is the way to go. Exterior painting in particular can be done much more quickly with the help of an airless sprayer, which is basically a pump that forces paint through a nozzle to coat a surface. While this is quicker than a brush or roller, it also offers less control, particularly on a windy day. You can rent an airless sprayer for between $50 and $75 a day, or you can buy one for $600 to $900. Now, if you have a smaller project, maybe you're painting a little piece of furniture or wanting to give your storage building out in the yard a fresh look, then a consumer design spray unit like this may be just the thing. They're available between $100 and $60. Now, chances are when you're painting inside your house, you may have a little texture to match. Maybe it's on the wall or the ceiling, and if it's a small patch on the ceiling, you can use acoustic patch that's available in a can. If it's a larger repair that you're working with, you may need to get a hold of one of these. It's a hopper gun that rents for about $25 a day, or you can buy one for around $80, and it hooks right to an air compressor. You're able to mix up some texture, put in here, and you're able to match exactly the way your ceiling is in your house. You can also apply the texture to the walls. It's something that's very popular these days to create a little more interest on those walls. You know, every week we get some very favorable emails about our Simple Solutions segment. Joe always does a great job, and here's another great tip from Joe.
Whether you're a do-yourself or a professional contractor, at the end of the day, the electric tools typically look like this, with the power cord wrapped tightly around the tool. Now the problem with that is that it puts undue strain on the cord itself, which can lead to premature failure, and then you have to replace the power cord. So I've discovered an easier and better way to keep control of the cord. What you want to do is first just wrap up the cord itself, not on the tool, but just by itself, into 5 or 6 inch loops. And then to hold it in place, I use these Velcro bands that I've discovered that the supermarkets have been using on the heads of lettuce. And they're about half inch wide and about 18 inches long. So they're just the right length for holding these cords. You simply wrap it around. It goes around several times, which is good because it holds it really tight. And then when you're done, you can see that the cord is intact, and it not only works for power cords, but also for extension cords and also for rope. And the best thing of all is it's totally free.
This week we're talking about choosing the right tool for just about any project that you may be taking on at your house, and that includes those outdoor projects. You know, if you have a yard of any size at all, it's a good idea to buy the right mower for your size yard, maintain it real well, and the thing will just last forever. Also, I'd recommend getting a bagger to go along with your lawnmower, because that makes keeping all of the leaves off your yard a lot easier than using a rake and a few garbage bags. Now, there's other projects that you may do outside that you'll only do maybe once or twice a year, or in some cases once in the lifetime of your home, and that's the kind of project we're about to take on, where this is a trencher and we're about to bury several hundred feet of plastic pipe for an irrigation system in the backyard. And this is one of the smaller type trenchers that we were able to rent at the rental center, and it'll cut a very narrow trench about 16 to 18 inches deep, perfect for an irrigation system. But if you're running some larger pipe, maybe for a drain line or other type of plumbing that's larger than that, you can buy or rent one of the trenchers that will cut that size hole and will go up to about 4 feet deep. But this should work perfect for all the plastic pipe we're about to bury, and a heck of a lot easier than using one of these. Now, if you're pouring concrete for a foundation, a patio, or a driveway, you want to pack down the dirt, not dig it up. And for that, you need a plate compactor to compress the dirt or gravel that your concrete will rest on. For a healthy lawn, you want the opposite effect, and that calls for an aerator. Basically, this tool digs hundreds of little plugs out of your yard to loosen the soil so that it can absorb water and nutrients more easily. It also makes for a great workout. If you're cultivating the soil for a vegetable garden or prepping the ground to plant a new lawn, you'll want a tiller. And this is another real good time saver, but there's several different sizes and varieties. So you want to make sure you tell the rental pro exactly what the application is and how much you have to do so that they can guide you to the right model for your project. The same is true of the cold weather cousin to the tiller, the snow blower. Chances are good you'll buy one of these things if you live in a climate where it's needed, but the style and size of the model you choose has everything to do with your situation. In fact, it may be that all you really need is a good snow shovel. When you're faced with a task of shoveling a little snow, this has been the tool of choice for many, many years, but there's a new shovel in town, and one that's ergonomically designed to make it a little easier to take on this task and reduce the chance of injuring your lower back. With this curved handle, you're able to stand a lot more upright when you're shoveling, which will reduce that back strain. And it's an extremely lightweight shovel, so it's really easy to use. Big handle allows you to get that gloved hand in there, and it's made out of a material that'll prevent snow from sticking to it so that it doesn't get overweighted and real heavy to use. So pretty good way of making this task much easier. But where's Alan when I really need him?
Well, I'm not digging in the snow, that's for sure. You know, they say that good fences make good neighbors. And if you've got a project that includes being neighborly and digging quite a few holes, well, the one tool that you do not want to use is this. It's a post hole digger. Oh, it'll get the job done, but Plan on spending the better part of a day, if not longer, using it. Some very sore muscles, and if you're not accustomed to this type of work, some blisters. Nope. Right here, this is the right tool for this job. It's called an auger, which is really just a fancy name for a gas-powered hole digger. Now, to be honest with you, you're not going to use this very much, so don't buy one. This is one you want to rent. For a one-man auger like this, about $65 a day. Here's a better idea. Get someone to help you. For a two-man auger, about $75 a day. You can see it does come with different size bits. Starts about 6 inches diameter and up. Really depends on the hole you have to dig. Now, is it worth it? Well, consider this. It's about as easy to operate as a lawnmower. Just a pull of a cord and you are the king or queen of digging holes. As far as the time you'll save, well, think about this. For every 8 hours you're going to spend on that post hole digger, this will cut it down to about 1 hour.
There are plenty of remodeling mistakes that Danny can tell us about, and one that definitely makes the list is installing items that are not level or plumb. But take a look at this latest offering from Ryobi Tools. This is their new Air Grip ProCross self-leveling laser, and it takes cool to a whole new level, if you'll pardon the pun. Now, it's perfect for the do-it-yourselfer and the professional alike. The 3-function laser provides the user with horizontal, vertical, and intersecting laser beams up to 50 feet in any direction. The air grip means that you can place it on almost any surface for a vacuum fit without marring the surface, or you can just mount it on any standard tripod. Now, since it's self-leveling, you don't have to worry about aligning bubbles, and the fine adjustment knob allows rotation of the horizontal housing a full 360 degrees and up to 1 inch of vertical change without repositioning the tool. So whether you're putting up chair rail, ceramic tile, or just hanging a picture, the ProCross self-leveling laser is the way to go to make your project mistake-free.
This week we're looking at the importance of having the right tool for any job you may take on around your house, and Alan and I have a few more we want to share with you. Now, no toolbox is complete without a few rolls of tape. Now, sometimes to make some very temporary repairs you need strong tape like duct tape. This is the traditional type of duct tape that you're familiar with, and this is a transparent type. They're available in more and more different colors and all, but when you want to really hold something together, that's the way to go. But if you want a tape that's, say, a little more sensitive, if you're doing a little decorative painting, then the Scotch Blue tape, painter's tape, is what you'll want to use. You can apply that to a surface, take care of all of the painting, and after it dries, pull it right back up without any residue being left on the surface that you're working on, whereas regular masking tape can cause you problems when that's concerned. Now, here's another type of material that's made out of the blue painter's tape, that little corners that allow you to paint around a wooden sash window, and also real convenient to take a couple of these and put over your hinges that you want to keep from painting. So an essential tool for any toolbox.
And a lot of applications for tape, but some of the tools we're looking at are very specific. This is one of them. This is a combo drive screwdriver, and it's perfect for those combination screw heads.
Well, you see those all the time on ceiling fans. Anybody that's installed a ceiling fan have seen these things.
Little electrical outlets. I used to hate these things, but I mean, you think about it, okay, it's great for a slot head or a Phillips, but both of those do have a tendency to slip. So you take the combo, and actually it fits perfectly in there, grabs, and will not let go. Now, a lot of people, though, are trying to get away from the hand tools, and, well, like me, I'm a little lazy. I like the cordless tools. They also make the same combo drive in the bits for that.
For the compact drills like this, the cordless drills are really popular for a lot of reasons. You have a smaller handle. It's just as strong as some of the bigger drills. It's a lithium-ion battery that'll power it real well, and something that a lot of people like. It's small enough that you can slip it right in your kitchen drawer so that it's right there when you need it. Now, here's another screwdriver that I received recently from a manufacturer, and the neat thing about this is it allows you to work in any of those little dark corners, say under a kitchen vanity, or maybe you're working in an electrical box where you need the light. And I could even check on your dental work there, Alan. Yeah, it looks pretty rough.
You know, when I first started out in construction, I was doing some carpentry work, finished carpentry, and that, of course, means the baseboards, chair rail, crown mold. And I found out, and I'm sure you've discovered this too, that not every corner in your house is perfectly square. Well, to find that angle just right, a protractor is perfect for that, because this you can actually set in the corner, one side there against the wall, push that against the other wall, and you will have the exact reading of that angle.
Yeah, we found these things have been really convenient in a lot of the specialty ceilings that we've been working with, where you have these recessed areas that you're wanting to run crown molding. You can use that to really capture that exact angle that you need.
Now, if you want to step it up a cool factor and get rid of these, check us out. This is also the same thing as a protractor, but it's the digital readout. Very large, easy to use.
Easy to read, and also you still have the level function and everything on there.
And you can even use this to find the pitch of your roof.
Yeah. Okay, so that finds pitches of roofs and different angles. Here's something that little technology here that allows you to maybe find that ring that fell down in the drain line.
Who told you that?
This is from Rigid. It's a sea snake. Has a flexible shaft on it here. You turn this on, and the light comes on the end, and you can look through the monitor and see exactly what's lurking down underwater, whether it's in a waterway looking at the fish or looking down in the drain to be able to see what's there. Then once you see it, you're going to want to grab it. Well, it's got a little hook that clips right on there for you to grab it. Also has one that's got a little magnet on it, and even one with a little mirror that you can see around the corner. It's pretty cool.
That's a cool one. Now
what's the deal here?
You've been looking at these skeptically.
So you needed some new boots, huh?
They are. They're great boots, but this is a tool, believe it or not. Now, shortly after Hurricane Katrina, I was doing some insurance adjusting work. I would not get on a roof without these boots.
Okay.
Now, it's not so much what you see up here, it's the underside. You've got this traction grip sole on these things that are just, I mean, it will grab hold of the roof. I've actually been on a 10-12 pitch roof and not fall down.
Okay, we'll get the cameras and go out and let you try that out. That should prove to be a pretty good video. Well, you can see.
Hey, Danny, my husband wants to buy every tool he sees. Can you talk some sense into him?
Well, I may not be the best person to answer that, because if I see a tool that I don't have, I just have to have it. But unless you have an unlimited tool budget, this is where it really pays to examine the option of renting that tool. Now, a good example of that is a garden tiller. For about $200 or $300, you can buy one of these, and you'll have it whenever you need it, and really it's a great tool to have around the house. But here's what you need to ask yourself: when would you use the tool again? If the answer is 6 months or more, then you probably don't need to buy it. You can rent this for only about $40 a day, get the job done quickly, and not even have to worry about any maintenance. So before making another major tool purchase, ask yourself how often the tool would be used, and consider the option of renting. This week we've looked at several tools that'll help you through your next weekend home improvement project, whether that involves putting in some new flooring, dressing up the surfaces inside your home, or maybe putting a fresh coat of paint outside. We even found some tools for the great outdoors that should spare you a few blisters, not to mention a few new problem-solving innovations that are just plain cool.
I can think of at least half a dozen things we could use this for on a job.
I know, that's a great idea. I could think of a few myself, but I wonder, with it being waterproof like they say, could you really use it as a fish finder? That'd be great.
Yeah, it'll help you find the fish. It won't help you catch them.
Oh, come on.